Hello and welcome back to my Briar Ridge Speedway toy box. I've got Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey with me, and that means it's time for our next episode of Toy Box Tutorials. We're looking at the basic racing toys, and so far we've examined most of the toys in the Racetrack Pieces drawer. And we've used these toys to build a simple racetrack and added a few basic features like boost pads, a ramp, and a ring of fire to make it interesting. There's another racing toy that isn't in the Racetrack Pieces drawer with all of the other racing toys, and that toy is the Vehicle Weapon Generator, and you'll find that toy in the Creativitoys drawer. This toy spawns random vehicle weapons, which will add a battle element to your races, and by default this toy is off, so when you place it in your toy box it isn't going to do anything until you turn it on. And there's two different ways to do that. And I'll show you the first way here by placing some vehicle weapon generators over here on this bridge. And I'm doing that because last time we added these boost pads over here, and I had mentioned before that I had measured this out so that this path and that path are about the same length distance-wise. But by adding the boost pads here, that kind of shortens this distance. And so to balance that out, we need to give the player a reason to come this way. And so to do that, I'm going to put down some vehicle weapon generators up here on the bridge. And I figure if I put them on the bridge, the player will see them when they're racing down below. And I'll go ahead and put 3 of these here. And as you'll notice, there's nothing visual to indicate that these are on. So the first way to turn it on is through the toy's properties. So I'll open up the logic menu. We'll go under the properties, and you'll notice there's a property here, auto spawn pickups. And if we turn that on, now we have the little question mark showing up over top of that toy. And when you drive over this toy, it'll give you a random weapon. And you can change the auto spawn frequency, which right now is 10 seconds. So by default, when you drive over this, it'll wait 10 seconds before it automatically turns itself back on and awards the next person who drives over it with a random toy. And so those are the properties, and we'll go ahead and turn on all 3 of these. Oops. We turn that one on, and then we turn this one on. And so you can see it's not enough to just place it in your toy box. You have to actually turn it on before you can use it. And now when you drive over that, it's going to give you a random weapon. And there's several to choose from, and I'll show you that in a few moments. Now, the second way to turn those toys on is with the logic connection. And so what I'm going to do to demonstrate that is we're going to come over here to our ring of fire, and I'm going to set up a vehicle weapon generator down here, just off the end of this. And we'll put it right here, so that whoever jumps through that ring, hopefully, will have the opportunity to pick this up. And I ran into a little bit of trouble last time with these party cannons sitting here. So I'm going to move these off a little further even to the side, just so they're not in the way of the player as they're racing. We'll come over and put this one directly across and about the same distance away, because it's a narrow track, and I kind of had to swerve to avoid this one because it was so close to the edge of the track, and I ended up in the woods, so that should make that a little easier. But we'll go ahead and hook up our ring of fire, so we'll do a new logic connection on that. When a car drives through it, we're going to come over to our vehicle weapon generator, and you'll notice the logic menu is available. So when we connect to this, you can have it give them a random weapon, or loadout as it's called, or you can have them give them a specific weapon. And there's a multi-shot, a homing missile, there's triple missiles, bombs away, an oil slick, all kinds of things to play with. And there's also a remove all option. And the remove all basically is a little misleading. The weapons stay on the car. Anything that this toy has given a car that's driven over it will stay with that car. But the question mark above it goes away. So remove all is really like turning this off. And all of these options are turning it on. And this one again will give them a random one. And I'm going to give them something special when they drive over this. If they go through that ring of fire, I'll give them triple missiles. So they'll get 3 different shots. So that makes it worthwhile to try to jump through this hoop so that you can get that. Now, of course, there's nothing to prevent somebody from driving around this and cutting them off and trying to grab that. But going through the loop is what's going to activate this toy. And so that's my plan. So let's go ahead and race the course once again. And we'll see what happens now that we have some vehicle weapon generators on the course. So we'll come back over to our starting line. And we'll hop in Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And we'll start the challenge.
Hey, Ollie.
Okay, here we go. All right, let's go left first. And we'll see if we can pick up one of these random weapons up here. Looks like we got a oil slick. I might have got Holly with that. Cool. And we'll try this way this time. I'm going to go ahead and hop over that boost pad. So I don't want to get too far ahead of these guys. And we're going to go through maybe... Oh, hey, somebody else went through the ring of fire. Nice. Well, we'll just take advantage of that. That took care of Lightning McQueen. Sweet. Just for fun, let's see if we can get through that ring ourselves. Ah, we missed the weapon generator. Oh well. I still got 2 missiles left from before. Woohoo, we won! Oops. Well, that's nice. You can kind of see how the vehicle weapon generators add a rather exciting element to your games, so that's cool. Now there's one more toy that you will not find in the racetrack pieces drawer, and that's the monster truck panel. I'll go ahead and place one over here on the side of the road just temporarily. And it's a simple toy, and if I open up the menu here in the lower right, you'll notice there's no logic menu, so it has no properties or logic connections. And all you have to do is drive over it in your vehicle. So you just place it and use it. And if we hop in our car and we drive onto it, you can see it replaces the tires with some monster truck tires. So it's mainly a visual element, but it can be kind of fun, especially if you want to do a monster truck rally like I did in my Phineas and Ferb toy box. And then to remove the wheels, you just drive over it again, and it puts your vehicle back the way it was. Well, that's it for the basic racing toys. At this point, you have everything you need to build some simple but fun racetracks. But I don't want to leave it at that, because I've been experimenting with the racing toys, and I've been able to figure out how the Disney Infinity developers did some of the things they did in the Toy Box Speedway courses. So I'm going to put my Toy Box tutorial series on hold now for a few months, and next Friday I'm going to begin a brand new series that will show you how to take your Toy Box races to the next level. In that series, I'm going to show you what I've learned, and we're going to use those tricks and techniques to build some deluxe racetracks that will rival any of the courses in Toy Box Speedway. I think you're going to enjoy it, so be sure to come back next Friday as I launch my new weekly Toy Box racing series. Or better yet, subscribe to my channel by clicking my photo in the lower right corner, and then you won't miss my new series when it airs. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this mini-series on the basic racing toys, and if you did, please leave a comment to let me know. I'd love to hear from you. That's all for me today. Have a great weekend.